Close your eyes for a second. If you are driving, please do not do this. But I want you to close your eyes and I want you to think about event day. You're on stage, you're excited, and you are looking out into the audience. Who is in the room? What do you see? The people in your audience may not have a face, they may not have a name, but I want you to think, what is their energy like? How do they feel in that moment? What insecurities have they brought into the room? What fears have they brought into the room? How are they showing up? Okay, these are some of the questions and the things that I want you to think about. I want to welcome you to the Events Make Sense podcast. I am your friendly guide, Natisha Crockett. Here is where we talk all about purposeful and profitable events because you can absolutely have both. I am an event strategist with over 10 years of experience in sales, and I believe that I bring a unique position to the event industry because I am looking at events through the eye of conversion. So everything that we talk about, everything that we discuss, it is going to be with the sole purpose of making sure that you are turning your attendees into clients. And today we are going to be talking about your dream attendee and how to identify who your dream attendee really is. Okay, so let's go ahead and get into it. First and foremost, why do you need to identify who your dream attendee is? What is a dream attendee? So your dream attendee is basically just the person that is like the best person for your offer or service. Like when you think about the individuals that you want to fill your offers and your programs with, right? They're the highest version of that individual. These are the individuals that you truly want to seek out to be a part of your experience. And when it comes to identifying your dream attendee, it makes it a lot easier to be intentional with the people that you plan on inviting to your event. Okay. And so, first and foremost, one thing to think about is, do I really need to have, like this identification process? Absolutely. Because if you are not identifying who you actually want in the room, what characteristics they have, what problems they have, what they truly desire, you are going to be wasting your time, your energy, and your money. Because at the end of the day, you're just going to be focused on talking to anybody. You're going to be so focused on just getting butts in seats that you're not going to be focused on making sure that you have the right butts in those seats. Okay. And so, a personal story of mine is when you are not intentional with who you are inviting in the room, it is draining. For me, for example, I had hosted an event, and in my heart, my intention was I wanted to attract women in business. I wanted to attract, women in business who just had like some identity blocks or like mind shift blocks that were blocking them from like the next level in their business. But because of my messaging and who I was attracting with my messaging, the event that I hosted actually brought in a lot of broken spirited women. And that's not a problem that that's what was attracted. The problem was that I was not equipped for the type of people that I was attracting into that space. See, although I had the intention to work specifically with business owners who, just had a few mindset blocks, what ended up happening is through my messaging, I actually attracted a lot of individuals that needed a lot more professional care than I had the ability to provide for them. And so that left me energetically depleted because I was not equipped to serve them at the level that they needed. And that fell on me. That fell on my messaging and what I was putting out into the world. And so, if you are not clear on who it is that you want to attract, the same thing may happen to you as well. And so, when it comes to um, creating your dream attendee, there are some questions that you want to ask yourself. First and foremost, you want to ask yourself, what stage of business or what stage of life is this individual in? Okay, if you work with business owners, you need to ask yourself, are you working with the newbies who are freshly starting their business, or are you working with individuals who have already cleared six figures or are on their way to their first six figures? Where on this scale are you? And this one is very important for you to identify, because if you are hosting an event for somebody who is, at consistent 10K months, and you are just focused on getting people in the room, you may have people, sign up or be a part of the experience that may be in their beginning stages. And if you do this, it's going to end up being a disservice for everybody involved. For one, it's going to be a disservice for the individual that may not be at that level, and it may be a little discouraging for them. The information at the event, it may go a bit over their head. So it's going to be a disservice for them. It's also going to be a disservice for the other women in the room who are at a higher level, because think about this individual who's a newbie. You may be bringing up principles or concepts that they just are not yet prepared for, and some of their questions may stunt the energy in the room. They may be asking questions that should be applied or should already be known based on the level that they are at, and this could be a disservice for individuals who are already at that level or above, because now they feel like, they could get irritated, where it's like, here we are, like, you should know this already, or hey, we're trying to get to the tangible things that we can implement in our business, and not so much like theology or the how to, like, I know how to do this, I need, to go deeper. And so it could be a disservice for the individual who is already at that level. And then it's also going to be a disservice for you as well, because you're going to be trying to teeter totter between the two levels, and that isn't fun. Okay. It's not fun for anybody involved. So you definitely want to make sure that you're asking, what level is this person at? And it doesn't have to be, strictly for business. Say you're um, a marriage coach, right? Are you dealing with individuals who are newly married? Are you dealing with individuals who aren't yet married? Are you dealing with individuals who have been married for 10 plus years? You need to identify where your audience lies. Another thing that you want to identify is going to be the pain points or the struggles of your audience. What are they currently dealing with right now? What is it that is keeping them up at night? You want to be able to identify the answers to this question here, because this is going to help you truly call in and attract the individuals for your event and your offers and services. And then lastly, you also want to identify what transformation are these individuals seeking? What outcome do they truly want? And that is going to help make sure that you are curating your event and your experience towards the individual's desired outcome. So, where they come to your event, they are going to actually receive the transformation that they are seeking. And so that is why it's important to really identify who is my dream attendee. After you do that, the next thing you're going to want to do is you're going to want to identify your non negotiables. Now, this is very, very important because I want you to just get it in your mind now. Your event is not for everybody, and that is okay. Period. Your event is not for everybody, period. And so, what that means is that when you are doing your messaging and when you are marketing to individuals, you need to be exclusive and talk to your dream attendee. So that means anybody who does not fit into your dream attendee's characteristics or attributes, that means you're not talking to them. So, for example, when people are inquiring who may be newbies in business and they want to come to your event, you're not going to necessarily discourage them, but you want to be extremely clear on who your event is for and who it is not, right? Because there's always going to be people who can rise to the occasion, but you really want to be clear about who your event is for and who it's not for. And aside from like positioning and things of that sort, you also want to identify mindset. Where is it that they are and where is it that they should not be? And you want to identify those mindset non-negotiables as well, because you don't want to have like a negative Nancy come in and just completely derail the energy of the group. Those are also things that you want to think about as well. And then lastly, you want to make sure that anybody that you are identifying as a dream attendee, that they are also a dream client. And this is where individuals are missing the mark because people are so focused on just selling tickets to their event, they're not thinking big picture. They're thinking, hey, I need to sell X amount of tickets because I need to make X amount of money so I can pay for X amount of expenses. But we've kind of already talked about making sure that you're pricing your tickets properly and talked about how to make sure that, you know, your event expenses are paid for before event day. And when you do that, you don't have to operate in a sense of desperation, because when you are thinking about who you want in the room, you need to be thinking about who do you want as a client? Who do you want in your mastermind? Who do you want to serve? Because when you're thinking about extending an invite to somebody, you also need to ask yourself, do I see this person as a potential client? And if the answer is no, they should not have a seat at your event. Because then this goes back to the start of the question of, why are you hosting this event? You should be hosting the event to fill your programs, to fill your offers. So if that's the ultimate goal, why would you just have any old body on the guest list? No, you have to get intentional. You have to get specific with your guest list, and you have to make sure that the individuals that you are extending that invite out to can actually be a potential client. And so, this, I believe, is where a lot of people are missing the mark, because we're just trying to get anybody in the room. And that is absolutely not the case. Okay. And so what I want you to do, I want to give you a little bit of homework. I don't think I've ever assigned homework before, but what I want you to do is, if you have an event coming up, or you know you're going to have an event coming up, I really want you to sit down and identify who is your dream attendee. Ask yourself those questions, okay? Ask yourself, what level is your dream attendee at right now? What phase of life are they in? What are their pain points? What current problems are they experiencing right now? What is keeping them up at night? What is stressing them out? And then what is their desired transformation? What do they want? What does the highest version of them want in this season? And then I also want you to identify your non-negotiables, because you having these non-negotiables are truly going to keep you on track and making sure that you are keeping your guest list intentional. And I don't want you to think so much about the quantity. I want you to think about the quality, because again, I will say this over and over and over. There is power in intimate spaces. There is power in rooms with less than 30 people in them. And so you don't have to focus on getting so many people in the room. You can make twice as much if you focused on making sure that the individuals that are in the room align with your offers and services so you can actually sell to them when they are in the room. Okay, so that is all about creating your dream attendee, and this is truly going to help you fill your rooms for your events and your experiences. I just want to thank you for being on this journey with me. And I have to ask you, if you know an event host who could find value in the information that I shared today, please send it over to them. Please like this, please share it, and get it out to event hosts in your network and your community. All right. I love you. I appreciate you. And I will see you on the next episode. Bye.